All right. Y'all know what it is. Eagles Web Boxing coming up, man. Friday rap, baby. You know what it is. All right, let me stop whistling. Ah, all right. I get to relax and drink a little bit of my sour to the sop. Till y'all get here. Man, we're in another month. We in Yulie. 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 That's where we're at, Yulie. Yules. Which is what? So, the Cinco. Let me see. This is Yulie. So this is actually 7. Yulie is 5, right? Yep. Julie is 5. June is 4. Okay. That's how that works out. This, bear with me, whistling and clowning around, and that's what I do. Okay, so we got. I really don't know this weekend, man. What the big fights are. This weekend, brightest. I thought Jasor was this week, but I guess we got that next week. But I came in early so I can get the hell out of here early. Not necessarily, but I may. But we'll see. I'm still waiting on my guys to get in here. Guys and girls. Do all this damn man. Got all this mail. Shame, man, to have that much mail. I haven't checked mail. I haven't picked my mail up in it's like a month. Finally got my mail today. I'm like, wow, what I'm doing with 50 pieces of mail. Like, I hate mail. That's some good tea, y'all. I was looking. I gotta find something real quick. So please be patient. I know you hear the clicking and all that. Just gotta wait. Just gotta look for something. I'll find it here. Yeah, it's no concern of you guys. Just saying, not to be any kind of way. It just has nothing to do with the boxing or nothing like that. So. I don't know. I might have to talk a little bit about it today. Trying not to talk about it, but we just may have to. You know, it's always a point where we gotta talk about certain stuff. Like, so if we gotta talk about it, we gotta talk about it. Simple as that. We want to talk about. I've been making all these political statements lately or whatever. Not that I want to. Just want to see where everybody's head is at. I'm really disturbed right now, and it's like I should never be disturbed like that. It's like it just seemed like something's real phony, real fishy. If that's what we want to use, fishy. It just seems real. I don't even know if I want to call it, but this seems sus. Really sus. It just does. It just seems like it's just too suspect right now. A lot of stuff. It's just really suspect. And it's really just scary. It's scary for things to be so suspect. It just really is. It's just scary for things to be as suspect as they are. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's just really suspect right now. I don't know what to make out of a lot of things. And should we actually try to make stuff out of it? It's like, I'm gonna tell you what the biggest thing that disturbs me is this ride. Which I'll talk about once y'all get here. But right now, since y'all not here, I can chill. Y'all coming in late because you thought I was gonna be late. But no, I'm early. I don't even know if we can stay late. We might stay a little bit. Yeah, I just got back in the house, man. Well, this girl she was wearing my arms out today, man. She throwing power punches. Her last punch, she got to throw so hard. I'm like, we was working though. We had the mitts going. We had the pads. The pad sounded pretty good. They was ta 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 ta. And I was telling her, hey, you got to have, that's the kind of sound you got to have. But I'll get her going. It's like, get that rhythm going. Go from one to the next. One to the next. One, two. Actually not. This is actually cool today. It's not hot. That's good. I'm trying to think if I want to go, what I want to go do today. Shit, no phone calls. Shouldn't somebody be bothering me about now? See? When I don't get bothered, I get all freaked out like, yeah, you're supposed to be getting bothered right now. I'm not getting bothered. And somebody will, though, They're like, yeah, he's doing his show right now. Let's bother him up. Okay, I gotta take that one out. Okay. Talking to myself loud. A few things I gotta do. Yeah, hold on. I'm not actually doing anything, but staging a couple of things. Let me set the stage back. There we go. Where my people at? Where they at? Don't you say it's true? Yeah, yeah, let's go. Let's go, let's go. I hope you guys didn't get the message wrong from the last show. I said I was coming on. I was late. I think D-Ray made it. Bruce. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Waiting on you. Don't worry, I'm paying attention to. I'm paying attention to if y'all coming in on time or whatever. I'm not gonna just talk about stuff so you can go back and get the replay. No, there will be no replay if we don't have the now play. We have the now play, then we have the replay. But right now, I'm just looking around. Looking at so let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna look into the day. Yeah, we'll talk about Davis just a second too, though. From what I heard earlier, I think I'm gonna be a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully, I shouldn't get in no trouble. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna do right now, but you guys gonna like it, so.
Did you know that our skin is our largest organ and acts like a giant?
Sorry about that. Hey, okay, that's cool. I lost my member. No, I know you'll be back or whatever. I'm waiting for my people to get up in here, but it's like this is not just like a live stream show. This is like a talk. This is like an interaction. So I'm not going to just be. I'm not going to just. This is not like Sports Center, ESPN, or something like that, where they just rattle on. They don't know if they have an audience or not. They don't have to because they're going to do a replay. And you can say the same thing. I could do a replay, but but that's a little different. It's a whole different type of a replay situation. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so I'm looking at other apps to see, to talk about so talk about boxing, the weather, boxing news online. Okay, so Slow Joyce is saying he never had it the easy way. He always had it the hard way. He said that's what builds character. That's what builds character, though. Good point. You can. Okay. Wow. We'll see. Oh, wow, wow, wow. This all this stuff that we could talk about. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. A lot of crazy stuff that's coincidental. If you're the type of person that believes in coincidence. And me, I'm not really into coincidence and stuff like that. It has not a damn thing to do with no kind of conspiracy. I just don't believe in. I just don't. It just doesn't register when it's a coincidence. Oh, that's a coincidence. it's it's a coincidence when your ex shows up somewhere that you would never expect her to show up. That's crazy, crazy, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Coincidence. Is it a coincidence that you get pulled over for running the red light? Is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that you end up drunk when you drink a fifth of tequila? Is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that you hit somebody and they hit you back? Is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the skies are completely overcast, black clouds, and at some point that day it rains. Is that a coincidence? Right. Just trying to throw some stuff out there because, like I said, I'm not the type of person that understands coincidence. I'm not saying it never happens, but it doesn't. A coincidence is not something that frequently happens. Oh, it's a frequent coincidence that you end up in a certain place, and okay, I'll finish that thought later because I was coming up with a good one right there. Is that was better to share. Okay, let me just see how this goes over. I'll see how this goes over. If I think this is called 85 or something like that. Maybe at the bottom or something. I don't know what I should have did now. I probably should have put down like a favorite or something. So I'll have to keep looking. That's all good. We'll find it in a second. Because this other little app, what happens is I can go and get the information, but I'll let somebody else do the initial part of it, and then I can do the rest of the research, or I can just leave it alone. Oh, here it is. Let's see what we got. There we go. We talk about Joe Gans sometime.
Panama Joe Gans. He fought from 1915 to 1920. Baby Joe Gans. He fought from 1920.
Yeah, Panama Joe and you got Baby Joe.
Baby Joe Gans. He fought from 1920.
130.
Panama Joe Gans. He fought from 1915. Tommy Ryan. He fought from 1887 to 1911. He's the former world middleweight. Little Chocolate George Dixon. He fought from 1886 to 1906. He's the former world bantamweight and featherweight champion. He fought Owen Moran, Jim Driscoll, Peddler Palmer.
Yeah, I'll see y'all there, y'all, sir. Salute, brother. Yeah, you missed me the other day, man. I came in a little bit late. But just listen, I'm trying something. I wanted to put something new up. But at least I got a good person to actually talk to, elaborate with. It's a mess. Let's just listen. So I got a lot of these this tells a little bit of stories about some of the boxers and stuff, and so I follow them. But it's cool because it's on a different little app, and so you don't have to. You can do research, but then again, you can just listen to them. And I'll let you listen real quick.
Bo Jack. He fought from 1939 to 1955. He's the former NYSAC World Lightweight Champion. He fought the likes of Ike Williams, Gil Turner, Lou Jenkins, Kid Gavilan, Tony Gennaro, Bob Montgomery, Juan Zarita, Bo Jack.
There we go. So I'm going to start running those off like that. This when you guys got questions, or you don't have questions, or I just want to ask you something about a fighter. I'll let you listen to this, and if you hear it, then you just record it. Say, hey, the Eagle might be asking us about that one day. Okay, I see what it is. But anyway, salute, brother. Where you at, man? You still there? I was trying to make a good point here.
Do you know why they treat you like they do?
But not that. Not a point on what just happened. Not. But yeah. Yeah, I was just talking about what, before you got in. I wanted to bring up the subject of stuff, coincidence, right? So, what a coincidence is not the occurrence of a coincidence is not something that happens all the time. Like you don't just keep getting the same occurrence of a coincidence, like, and we won't think that. Over here we got like the traffic lights. If you run a traffic light in your car and you get a ticket, that's no coincidence, right? If you only eat pizza for 4 or 5 months, all day long, I mean, you eat like a whole pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eat. So that's 3 whole pizzas a day. It's not really a coincidence if you're not a person that's working out like extremely hard. It's no coincidence that you gain weight, right? It's no coincidence. I just want you to follow me for right now on coincidence. And it seems like this world wants us to run into coincidence all the time. Everything happens to be a coincidence. It's like, it's crazy. So how common are things just a coincidence? How common are those? If there's a coincidence, how common should it be? Remember, it's a coincidence. So how common should a coincidence be? Oh, that's a coincidence. Right? Everything's a coincidence. A little kid eats a whole quart of ice cream on an empty stomach, and then he drinks a soda. Is it a coincidence that his stomach bothers him? Not a coincidence? Or is that just something that happens because you did something that you probably shouldn't have done? Your body wasn't prepared for that, right? It's just like we take it a step further. It's a wrong example. It's not a great example. It's a good example, but it's just to show you that some things cannot be a coincidence, right? So you say that a woman, she sees you all the time at a certain place at a certain time or whatever. She goes to a restaurant, outdoor restaurant, and you're sitting at a table next to her, you're looking at her, okay, boom. And then you see her again. Well, she sees you again. I put it that way. She sees you again at another restaurant on a different day. Outside, same thing, right? And she goes to a third restaurant on the next day and she sees you again. Is that a coincidence? That she's seen you at 3 different places? Take it a little bit further. That now she decides to go in a restaurant on the 4th day. And you happen to be in there at the same time she's in there. or shortly thereafter. Is that a coincidence? No, it's you a stalker. Yeah. Before as all these things is coincidence, I don't just get a lot of these things. Is it a coincidence that Ukraine is supposed to be at war and you got a Ukrainian champion? I'm going to show you stuff that's really, it's not no conspiracy. I'm going to show you stuff that's really odd. So the Ukrainian flag is blue and gold, right? And I think it may have white. So it's blue and gold. And they're at war. You got a boxer that's going to war in boxing from Ukraine. Blue and gold, right? We got a team over in the United States called the Warriors, and they just went to war in basketball war, and they just won a championship. Blue and gold. Is that just something? Is that all just a coincidence? Did all this stuff just coincidentally just happen? 3 different things. Then you got the MVP. Remember I just talked about that? Steph or Wade Curry. And he had a tragedy at his church named Stephen. Stevens or whatever, same. So this is my day to sit down and just, when I say my day, I don't mean just like the 24-hour clock. It just means I got to look at all these, a lot of things that seem like they're coincidence. I have to look at them. It's like, nah, I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. Oh, you're a conspiracy guy. No, it's freaky. A lot of things are freaking me out. Because in this country, you can give 250, what is it? I'm hoping the number is wrong. 250 million or billion to aid a war effort that shouldn't be any of your business. Right? But then again, you got people over here that need help. You got homeless and everything else, and you can't give a dime for them. You write into all these things that come in, like these executive orders and things of that nature, to keep people from. Right. Everybody's bringing up the whole thing with the tragedy about the kid way back in the day they got killed, the Emmett Till. Right. And now they want to bring his accuser is still alive. Now they want to prosecute her. She's in her like 80s, 90s, something like that. They want her sent to prison. For what? You can't bring them back now. It's actually too late. Maybe give her some kind of punishment. Just put her on house arrest or something like that. She has to die with the humiliation of having a bracelet on her everywhere she goes. So every time if she goes somewhere, family reunion and all that, whatever she does, they have to see that big bracelet on her ankle. I don't know. I'm not just into that. And I'm not trying to, soften any kind of blows, because if you're not going to do something physical to her, then forget it. Yeah, she won't last in prison. I mean, no matter where she is, they're going to have to be, it's only a certain way they're going to be able to treat her, else they're going to just, I don't even want to go there. But it's just like, a lot of these things are just coming up. This whole Roe versus Wade thing came up. And I've seen different footages of it, and some of them you look at them and look like, and you hear the sound, and they sound like they really into some serious protest. And come to find out, from a whole different angle, from close-ups, like within their little their demonstration area, people are just walking around talking, but you still hear the whole protesting going on. But what your eyes are seeing, you don't see none of it. It's just like, wait a minute, why am I hearing? I'm hearing one thing, but I'm seeing something else. So are my eyes deceiving me or are my ears deceiving me? That's all crazy, man. So I'm just, my mind is thinking, man. I'm thinking about all this stuff. You know, and that's what I do. I got to think about it. Because a lot of these things, a lot of these people, I don't trust. You know what I mean? I'm not putting my trust in them, y'all, sir. My brother, y'all, sir, came in. He just disappeared on me. He let Eagle tell the whole story. Yeah, it's just not much, man, that I know of this weekend. Brightest. Patia, that's on Fight. I don't like this computers that, I don't like this whole thing with no matter what. This Google is such a tracker, man. It tracks everything you do. Cunningham and Tay-Tay. And even though I might want to go with Cunningham, that's next week though, right? And Joyce and Hammer, but I might have to go with Cunningham, but I'm gonna go against him. Cause I like Crow, but shit, he can't lose. I'm trying to think, didn't he? Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. I was reading something earlier where Raleigh he feels like because he took the knockout from Tank that he won. So Tank hits very hard. And anytime somebody knocks you out like Tank, and you think it's a winning situation for you, yeah, you in trouble. Yeah. But it's just not a whole lot of news as far as boxing. It's not a lot of news. Well, I almost blew it right there. Listen to some of the talk and stuff. I was going to run a few rounds of a fight or something like that. I may still end up doing that. Who knows? And I don't know where this came from, but it says that I see it's on Blue Blood though, but I don't know how true it is. But Haney's saying he'll drop the belts. He said, "Hey, I'll drop the belts." He said, "Fight me or stop saying my name." Yeah, Haney up there. Haney should be up there in the. You guys gonna have the conversation, the pound for pound. He should be up there then. Everybody all mad and stuff. Yeah, let Haney be up in the pound for pound discussion also. Yeah. Because people start, thinking things are going to be one way and it's not. It ends up being a whole different way. Yeah, because it's like, who is Going to believe everything is a coincidence. Going right back to that thing again. Is it a coincidence that the Tank is not fighting Haney, or that we're not getting where we need to be with the Haney and Tank? I don't know. Should we be getting a little bit further with them? Or do we care? Nah, who cares? That's more or less what it is, right? It's like who actually cares if they fight or not, because they both can fight whoever they want to. You said you had to take a phone call? Yeah, that's all right, brother. Yeah, I was talking about coincidence. And I'm being choked out today. My oxygen level is low or something. Because I keep getting this yawning. It's like, why am I getting this yawning? They say it's lack of oxygen or something like that. Yeah, but my main thing that I was mentioning was all these coincidences when people act like everything is such a coincidence. Oh, this is a coincidence. I'm like, wow. In boxing, I can't look at superstition. I'm not going to be looking at stuff as being coincidence no more. You know, if we're not getting certain fights, there's no coincidence. Is it a coincidence if we don't get Bivol versus Canelo again? Is that a coincidence? Will there be a coincidence? Nothing. It's not going to be one because we know what's going to happen. We know Canelo don't want to take a knockout, which he probably is going to end up taking a knockout. Yeah, Tank is a decent fighter. TMT got okay. TMK got and they moving him like that, picking the finest cherries. Yeah. So maybe he just don't want to. Maybe they don't want him to fight Haney because Haney was putting hands on him, and Haney will put hands on all of them. It's just nobody's beating Haney without a knockout. That's the whole thing. If you're not knocking Haney out, you're not gonna beat him. He's just slick, man. He makes the precise movements. And matter of fact, Kambosos, I think Haney might take him out. You know, if they're gonna fight again, Haney might just end up taking him out. It's not a good matchup. Styles make fights and styles make no fights. You guys already know how we match it up, man. Because sometimes it's a good fight, and sometimes it's just not. It's not gonna be a good fight. Because if Canelo fights your guy again, I look at him as getting his ass beat. That's what I look at. I look at him as getting his ass whooped, and that's just what it's going. That's what it's going to be. You getting your ass whooped, son. If you out there trying to fight again, you tried. I'm not even sure if it was the thing about moving up, because Bivol said he'll move down. So I don't think it has shit to do with moving up. If styles make fights or styles make no fight. So the style for Bivol, it made a fight for him. But it didn't make a fight for Canelo. And back to what I was saying about Joyce, and because I'm just repeating stuff because I don't know how intent my audience was at the time. So Joyce makes a good point about, he said that he's taking the hard road. He don't have a problem with taking the hard road because that builds character, which is true. That's a true statement. I don't know from what he can do. I don't know what he's going to do up in the heavyweight. Heavyweight is starting to look like crap. And as much as I don't like the Coke Crack King, probably needs to stay in there. It depends on how this fight goes. And here, back to the one subject though. Let's look at stuff that is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that Luis Ortiz didn't get a shot at a title besides Wilder's title. Is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that they're keeping him like 3 and 4? He's fighting number 3 and 4 fighters. He fought a number 1 fighter. He fought a champ twice. But all he's fighting is what, 3, 4, and 5 guys now, 6 guys. That's all he's fighting. They're not going to put him in against somebody like Dubois. Is that a coincidence? Are we coincidentally just watching stuff, this coincidence? A bunch of coincidences? Coincidences. Or is that what we're doing? That's how we play in boxing now? That's what we're watching? Is everything just a coincidence that we're not getting certain fights? Oh, it's a coincidence. Just like I said, there's a girl that sees a guy 5 times, 4 or 5 times in a week in different places that she goes to. And she picks random times to go there, like at one restaurant. And a guy's there looking at her from a different table. She goes to a different place a different day at a different time, and the guy's there. Then she goes to a different place at a different time, all outdoor restaurants, and the guy's there. Now she changes up and goes indoors on the 4th day, and there's a guy, the same guy is right there. She says, wait a minute. He's there maybe a couple of minutes later, and she goes to one more place, and the guy just happens to be there before she gets there. Now, out of all those, one of those might have been a coincidence, but are those coincidences? No. That girl's being stalked. That's what that is. From Haney, Tank, and Shakur, I think Shakur is the best out of them, in my opinion, until they fight, if they ever do. Nah, I got Haney. I got Haney over Shakur. Shakur's kind of slick, but I think he's slick too and long, and just okay. So you could tell me, yeah, a freaking stalker. So it's not no coincidence. Yeah. Okay, so tell me this then. I mean, these are just opinions, though, right? So how does that play out with Haney versus Shakur? How do you see it playing out? Who ends up being the stalker or whatever? Who's doing the pressure? Haney's not going to necessarily be on the back foot. I seen a little statement from Shakur. I'm not sure if it was him, but it just says it was him. But the statement was, how do you beat Tank? He said you beat him, you just don't, by not getting knocked out. So why are you even thinking that way? Why are you thinking about why are you thinking about knockout? So he's looking like, I got to whoop him and I can't beat him. Because I can beat him. The only thing I got to really worry about is not getting knocked out. I mean, come on, you got to say what you're not going to get knocked out, and you shouldn't even be mentioning anything about getting knocked out. You should be mentioning knocking him out. So that shows lack of confidence in one way or another. Let me see what you got. You said, didn't Ortiz say his team effed up the deal with AJ last time? He had the chance to fight AJ for the 3 belts, and his manager got greedy, and they priced himself out. But yeah, I think that was like so far. That was such a long time ago. But you got to realize their belts have changed, and Ortiz still winning. There's nobody above Ortiz. There's not no 5 or 6 guys above Ortiz. There's just not. Even with these younger guys, these guys are not above Ortiz. I'm just saying. They're just not. These guys are not above Ortiz. Name 5 guys that's above Ortiz. That he has 0 chance against. Name 5 heavyweight fighters that Ortiz doesn't have a chance against. Or like, okay, not no chance, but slam. Like, oh yeah, he barely has a chance. It would be a long, drawn out chess match between them. And I think Shakur will bring the pressure more. And that's why Shakur will lose. See? Because you're seeing it the same way. You think Usyk will beat Ortiz and AJ will beat those first two? I don't see them winning. Wilder maybe. I don't even know if I see Fury really winning, not the way his last performance, because you're not going to set, the thing is about Ortiz, you're not going to set him up with no uppercuts like that. You're not, Dylan White was stupid. It's dumb. It's not a very smart fighter. AJ has a chance to beat him, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I know you're thinking long and hard about the fifth, because even those four might not win. It depends on what Ortiz look like. Usyk might not win. I don't know if he can really outbox. He's not. AJ can't outbox him. Are we looking for? We're looking for, and the reason I'm asking this question is because, and I'm not asking it based on Ortiz might have a little bit of BCD. I'm just saying I'm basing it off of, he comes in clean and he's okay. That his chin checkability is limited. Like, okay, he's still good chin wise and all that. I don't think they really outbox him. I don't think AJ outboxes him. He can get a win, but if we're looking at AJ getting a win, we're looking at circumstance. We're looking at where the fight is. Usyk, we're looking at where the fight is too. Fury, we're just looking at how he fights Fury. And Wilder, we're looking at where how he fights Wilder. Okay, you said Fury can fight technically with the best of them. He done Vlad when he's on this run. Yeah, but you know what? The one thing about Fury, I don't necessarily know if I really trust Fury. And the reason I don't trust Fury is because Fury he's not an old fighter, but he's getting older and he's just being careless with a lot of things because he's on such a high where he feels like I can come in any kind of shape I want to and win. And it's never worked for anybody in the past. You see him? He's trying to rewrite history. You can't rewrite history like that. You can't just think, oh, I got this. It doesn't. That just shit don't work. It just doesn't. It hasn't worked for nobody else, y'all, sir. So that's what I'm saying. It hasn't worked for anybody else. But I see how you said that you're thinking though. I think King Kong's best days are done. He's like a Chisora in books right now. Gatekeeper kind of status. He's not really a gatekeeper. I think he's only going to fight one or two more fights. If he can't get a shot, he's not going to fight. He really wanted this, but if Ortiz can't get a shot, he had a good shot at Wilder. It's just that we wouldn't be having this conversation if Wilder could have fought Fury the same way. If he would have just been smarter, but it's just, I don't know. I could still see Wilder beating somebody like Fury, for sure. Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and more is up there. He said, peace, my brother at Eagles Wear Boxing. He said, at Yasser Hussein. He said, peace, my G. Yeah. I just don't, I'm really, inside, I'm really thinking that, that Wilder just made mistakes in all three fights. The first one wasn't his fault because he did get the knockout in the first one. That was just a ref just like knowing something that nobody else knows. Like, okay, it doesn't matter. Fury can suffer from a concussion and come back. That's actually not a good practice though. Because I think the longer that you keep Fury on the shelf, I just don't think the brain really heals that way. It's just like he can get caught a couple of times and maybe he can keep coming back. You know, after he takes knockdown. But you know what? That's for me is very scary. Even with Wilder took a lot of knockdowns too. I mean, Wilder ended up being a bloody mess. I don't know how he ended. And that's the one part that kind of freaks me out. How did he end up a bloody mess? He never ended up a bloody mess from. He fought harder punches than that and didn't end up with a bloody mess. But the thing that really is getting me with Fury is that I don't really trust Fury's ability to keep doing the Undertaker shit. You know, to raise himself up from the dead. I really don't trust that. If that's what you're banking on, you know, he got a good skill set. But if he gets clipped, and the perfect style is like that Valine type of style. Somebody gets in, you know, crowds him out. You know, the perfect style to beat him is a Joe Frazier type of style. We don't have our modern day Joe Frazier, but our Joe Frazier style is the style that beats him. That beats him pretty easy. Ortiz, like you said, he could beat probably can beat Ortiz, but I don't know. I still won't count Ortiz out because of the reason I won't count Ortiz out is if he can get himself into title contention within this next fight, I don't count him out because I think he's going to come in like super prepared. He's going to work out. He's going to be like, he's going to come in the best shape that he has in the last 10 years. You know, if he can get past this fight. Yeah. But I just see the lack of competition when you talk about Fury's skill set. I just see more of it's more of a lack of competition than it is like that he has like a great skill set. I watch him fight. I mean, he does a lot of pushing back on a lot of dirty shit. If you watch him, he does a lot of hitting behind the head. He does a lot of pushing down on the person. He does a lot of shit like Lennox Lewis did a lot of that shit, pushing on fighters and hitting them in the back of the head and shit. He done a lot of that. So, you know, you just got to watch. Don't be so quick to say, oh, yeah, he's a great boxer. Don't be so quick to put everybody in greatness. Because none of these fighters today are actually great. Because they're not doing great things. They're good. They're on the verge of greatness, but they're just not. I'm not going to say that they're great. Yeah, I know. He said, hell yeah. He said, Wilder got a chance of knocking any man the F out. You got that right, brother. He do. But y'all sir said salute at Bruce Gas Boxing Champ. Yep, but you're right. Wilder definitely has a chance to knock anybody's ass out. See, that's what saves Wilder. Even if say for instance Wilder did get, let's say for instance Wilder is a little bit on the chinny side. It doesn't really matter as much as it does for other fighters if you think about it. Because if they go for him and he survives, and that fight or flight shit takes off, that's when you would be in trouble. Like when you go to try to hurt Wilder, and then you mess around and catch one. That's the worst thing with guys that can punch if you get them hurt. Who was that? I was just watching the fight. With it. I watched a few fights. Just replays of fights where fighters was hurt, but they had like puncher's chance. And that damn puncher's chance came through. Like somebody was teeing off on them, like, just really had them. And then like burnt themselves out. Like, like you doing that punching drill. And they got worn out. And then that heavy puncher clipped them. And that shit was over with. Like, that's over with. And that can happen. I don't know. It's something else happened to Wilder, man. I don't know if it wasn't Fury. Look, I'm not, like I said, I'm not into all the conspiracy and all that shit, but think about it. Go back and look at some of Wilder's fight and just look how comfortable he was. And even with his skill set, just look when he wanted to impose himself. Like, look at the Stavern second fight. When he wanted to impose himself upon him, he did it. And I'm not comparing Fury or nobody else with Stavern, but look at the Ariella fight. Remember how Wilder was taking the punches and throwing his hip into, he was holding him by the head and throwing his hip dancing, playing with him like that. See, When a fighter can be comfortable like that, there's something more than just skill set there. I mean, when I talk about boxing ability, not necessarily skill set, but boxing ability, there's a lot more there. If I'm nice and relaxed, I'm like, yeah, I know you got a better boxing jab, you got a little bit better IQ, but I'm having fun in here. And I think somewhere when it came to fighting Tyson Fury, I think that the fun was not there for Wilder. He really didn't have to worry about Fury as much as he did, in my opinion. If the right person would have trained him, just don't worry about that jab. When he comes in, like I said, I would have been working on him, to not ever get trapped. Don't ever let him trap you. Move those hips like you've been. Swing his ass around when he comes charging in. We know he got a good jab. He's not that much taller than you. And if you feel like somebody's taller than somebody, then have him fight small. That's when you throw your overhands. You know what I mean? That's when you get closer when the guy's tall. That's when you start, you don't have to worry about his jab if you're real close. If you're in his chest, if Wilder could adapt styles to where he can get in somebody's chest and just start working body, easy work for him against even Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury's body would start wearing out. You know what I mean? I think his body would, start wearing out. I see Gil Coles up in here. I didn't even see him at first. Maybe he just got in here. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, you said you don't know how Fury got up again and again. I don't trust him though, man. I don't know, because who knows the mind like that? If you think about it, it's very scary, man. But salute to Gil Coles, but it's very scary. If you think about it, that's a scary thing for me, man, to think like that. If one of your friends, if that was one of your best friends and you knew he was fighting and he'd been put down that heavy, I mean, where he actually went to sleep, he was actually knocked out and got back up and fought. That's very dangerous, man. Because just think about that first fight when he got back up. If Wilder was the type of person that stayed nice and composed when Fury got back up, because that was Wilder's rest period too. That was Wilder's 15 seconds of rest. He should have been getting some breaths in and thinking, okay, he's going to get up. And then just nice and smooth and boom, boom, boom. And made sure that he clipped him with a couple more. He could have killed Fury, to be honest. I'm not saying we want that to happen, but he could have killed him, man. You don't play boxing. Yeah, but I don't know how he got up either. He said I would agree with the first fight Fury was knocked out. He said man was flat on his back with his eyes fully closed. Then done Wilder dirty that time. Yeah, they damn sure did Wilder dirty that first time. Y'all saw again, they said Wilder's the only man to do that to Fury. No one has knocked Fury down like that in the pros. Yeah, he's only been down before Wilder. He only went down once, right? And then again, let me see. Y'all sir said they can only fight who's in front of them. And active in the division. He said we can't hold the pass against these modern day fighters. I know that. I'm not holding it against them. I'm just saying that it's just not the competition ain't there. And okay, you got to be fair also. There's some decade, maybe not a whole decade, but there's a period of like maybe a half a decade where we just don't have the fighters. Mayweather didn't have all the fighters. He had all the young and up and coming ones, but the ones that was fighting when he was fighting, the older ones that was fighting with him, they just didn't match up good. And I'm not even sure if the Keith Thurmans and them, I'm not sure how well they would have matched up with Mayweather either, to be honest. I just don't know, because we never seen Mayweather like lose. I don't know. It maybe he was loosened up here a little bit because he took some punishment, but not a whole lot. But but when Mayweather first came into boxing, he was a knockout artist. When he was in them lighter weights, he was a knockout artist. So, he used to be in there brawling. And what was the guy's name that he fought? Martin? Or what's the guy's name? Gil knows. I can't think right off the hand. The guy with the army colors. I can see I got that kind of memory. I can see what he had on when he fought Mayweather. He had on like the fatigue colored shorts. What was his name? Because he was in there battling with Mayweather. His first time I see Mayweather with his mouth busted, and he was battling. But then I heard, remember Mayweather was yelling at him like, "Shut up." Mayweather was like, he said, "Stop complaining." He said, "Stop complaining and fight." That's what he told the guy. He told the guy, in between, when it was in between breaks, he told him to stop complaining. Stop complaining and fight. That's what Mayweather was hollering. Mayweather was brutal, man. Like, shut your ass up and fight. But he was dramatic too. When he started learning the game, he started getting more dramatic to try to get judges and ref on his side, But that's one thing that fighters do once they've been around for a while, is they start trying to get referees on their side and all that. But that's smart though. That's smart. But you had to have been around. We don't even have that fighter in the heavyweight. We don't have that. We had like your guy, AJ. We had his ass complaining all the time. And we definitely had him. Because remember, he used to always be all complaining and shit. And the one that killed me the most is when he was fighting Parker. How he was stopping the action, He's stopping the action himself. Man, come on now. That's a chance that he has fighting in England against Fury. Is stop, having the referee stop it or whatever. But I'm going to go back to AJ. His best moment is when he did win the championship. That was his best moment. That's when he actually showed that, hey, I want this, and I do have balls. Okay, so before he lost his balls, before he got neutered, when he fought the championship fight, he did have balls. Because remember, he did go down. He went down from that right hand, right? I think it was a right hand, a straight right. He went down, just dropped like a bag of rocks. But he fought to get himself back up, and he came back and he stopped Klitschko himself. See? That is when he was really showing that, hey, I can do this thing. I don't have the best skill set, because I think Klitschko might have had a little bit better skill set. He's just older. But he was just showing the fortitude. See, that's what you got to have. But now he's all broken up, so I don't know. I mean, he just, his mind flashes when he takes knockdowns now. So maybe Klitschko, when he knocked him down, maybe that was something that stayed on his mind anytime anybody else knocks him down. Because once you get knocked down, a lot of times it's psychological, like, oh yeah, I can go down again. But just stop thinking that you can go down. You can't go down. That was just something, you got hit with a good shot. A lot of these other shots, they're not that good, but you're anytime you get touched now, anything that touches you, you think is good. Oh, must have been a good shot. I better go down. No, don't go down just because you're thinking it's a good shot. It's not a good shot. I've seen fighters, and you have seen fighters that you knew the shot wasn't good, and they just go down. Like, oh, I better go down. I better take a knee. Come on, man, the shot wasn't all that. Yeah. Yeah, I think so, Gil. I'm not even 100% on none of these fights now. Everybody's quiet now. Remember, everybody was like Bud and Earl. Now everybody's quiet. Nobody wants to even say anything now. I want to go with Ortiz, but the thing is, I'm not even 100% sure. I don't know if Ruiz can really get to him. I think that's a styled fight. I think it's a styles make fight on that one. And I think Ortiz really does have the style to fight him if he don't get, hurt, clipped or something like that. But I don't know. Yeah, Gil said that Ortiz going to get retired. That could be true, too. We'll see. Let me see what we got. Y'all said I don't say that Fury was great. No. He's good for the air. Yeah, he's good for the air. I can say that. Y'all said we got to also see the flip side of the coin. No one ever got up from one of Wilder's bombs, like, let alone get up and start stepping up to the man. It must have been demoralizing. Yeah, but Ortiz got up. Ortiz got up a couple times. But not like Fury. Fury was on some old knockout, but I'm back to life type of shit. And your mind doesn't work that way. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of scared for Fury. I mean, a lot of people are not. I don't really care about him, but I'm really am scared for his health, though, man, because it's like he done probably took some of the most devastating punches from Wilder that you can take. And he'll even say that Wilder's the second best. He said Wilder just can't beat me, but he doesn't really mean that. He means that if Wilder doesn't have, if Wilder don't have his chin, he can't beat him. But he knows that, I mean, in his back of his mind, he knows, like, I don't know how many more of those big ass knockdowns I can take. You never know. One of Wilder, a miracle hit Wilder, and he's like, you know what, I'm all good, chin tested, I'm great. Let's go. Shit, get in there and fight. I don't know. Wilder's just one of them type of fighters, man. I can beat him out. Yeah, he don't hit that hard. The person that made the biggest mistake on thinking that Wilder didn't have power and that they had just as much power or more power than Wilder, that was Brazil. Brazil made that mistake. Yeah, I think it was Cunningham. Yeah, Cunningham knocked him down. AJ was never my guy though. Yeah, that's your guy, man. AJ, if he can get back, if he can stop thinking about I got touched and I'm going down, if he can stop that shit, because I think his is more, I don't know, I think his is loss of focus and just he's having some kind of hallucinations and shit, because I never really even seen him get clipped that hard. Because remember when Ruiz fought him, he wasn't getting clipped that hard. He was just like, wait a minute, why are you going down, man? They was fast punches, but it wasn't like none of them shots was like a Wilder shot. I can see, because he took a big shot, and I know Ruiz don't hit as hard as Klitschko. He took a biggest shot from Klitschko and got back up. Like I said, a lot of times people just think, oh, I had to go down. I got touched. But we'll see if Andy retires Ortiz. I'm gonna go with Ortiz anyway. Yeah, but y'all sir's right back again. He's always a Team Fury and a Team Wilder fan, and their fights was sweet for me too. Yep. He said my two favorite heavyweights. It's a shame about all the drama that went on along with them fights, and not just with those fights, before those fights. That Wilder had to build himself up. Wilder had to get so mad at Fury. For me, it's like, I think that really killed the whole camaraderie or whatever, the whole competition. I think that kind of killed I think Wilder's attitude towards Fury kind of messed that up. And also his training, because so I guarantee you somebody should have told him, you know what, Wilder, just don't even worry about this, man. Even for the second fight, he should have came in more. He should have just came in like, you got to come in relax. This is a fight. Just come in relax like you did a lot of these other guys that you fought. Because you got to realize Wilder always, a lot of his fights, it seemed like he was getting outboxed. And of a lot of his fights. But if Wilder can win, see, the type of fighter Wilder needs to win, like, 1 out of 3 for the first 9 rounds. So he's down, but he should have been the type of fighter that can be down like in a fight. Let's say, for instance, now he's down, so 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 3. So now you're up 9. So now you're down 3 rounds, right? 10, 11, and 12 should have always been like, wow, this is my showtime now. I can't lose 10, 11, or 12. And that's when Wilder should have been sparked to, like, let's go. Now I got to engage a little bit more, because this guy's going to be running because he's up. You think about it. A guy's up on Wilder in 10, 11, and 12. The guy's not going to want to engage anymore. He's going to try to want to get out the way. I see D-Lo out there. Salute to D-Lo. 404 up in here, y'all. Y'all better respect that 404. So for me, I'm just saying, for me, Wilder needs to win 1 out of 3 for the first 9, and then whoever's up in front of him is probably going to be running. So it's probably going to end up in a draw, which it's not going to be a draw. Wilder's going to win, because that's what, if he's already up, draw, he still wins if he's champ. But chances are you can't run for 3 rounds after 9. If you're a heavyweight, you're probably going to get clipped. But that's just in my mind. That's what I would think, that the way I would train Wilder is just, you got the power. We got to work on your moving and defense. I'm not worried about your boxing style as much. Because your boxing style can be different. And you don't have to have the greatest boxing style if you got great defense. Like, okay, I'm out the way. If nobody's touching you, it don't matter as long as you touch them every once in a while. Yeah. But y'all search the Eagle. There's the 5th guy. He said Ruiz on the list. Oh, the 5th guy? Oh, yeah, you're saying that's the 5th guy now because Gil said he's going to retire Ortiz. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he does that. I don't know. He might be. Yeah. Don't just be talking to D-Lo, Gil. Talking about his boots ready for Keith. Boots ready for everybody. That's not what we thinking about. We thinking about, can you beat everybody, though? Can you beat me? You ready for me, but can you beat me? And public service announcement, you guys be careful out there. Watch the horizon. Watch your sunset and your sunrises. And just be careful out there with this world, the way that this world is right now. Know your surroundings, no matter if you have to go somewhere on a emergency or you have to go somewhere, just make sure you guys check your surroundings and stuff like that, and keep your supplies nice and heavy. Keep your supplies, high. And this is my public service announcement, Water, make sure y'all got good, good water and stuff like that. That's it. That's all I want to say. I don't want to get too deep into anything. Nope. No, don't want to get too political or nothing else, so we'll see what it is. But D-Lo put the salute out to all with the 100. He said he hit that thumbs up. Y'all, sir, salute at D-Lo 404 Boxing and Gil Coles at D-Lo 404 Boxing. And then that's when he asked the question to D-Lo. D-Lo, what you got? Is Boots ready? Boots is ready. Everybody's ready for everybody. But the thing is, we just not getting, and like I said, when I was talking about that whole coincidence thing, we just not getting fights that we need to get, that we feel like we deserve. But who the hell are we, man? We're fans. But who are we, man? Do we really know what's right or what should be next? And you know what separates us? I'm going to tell you what removes us. What removes us as fans, and it doesn't matter if you're doing new media or what removes us as fans is the fact that we're not money watchers for the most part. We don't care about the money, see? And so when we lose touch that way, and I'm going to tell you, this is how you lose touch, because the name of the game is prize fighting. And that's where we lose touch. It's like, oh, we don't care about your prize, but guess what? They care about the prize. So a lot of times that's not when you're going to get the fight. And you hear Leonard Ellerby talk about it all the time. That's all he's talking about. He said the dollars ain't there. If the dollars ain't there, then it ain't making no sense. We ain't going to fight. If we can't get the dollars, it was hard for him. Like he said, Raleigh wanted to fight years ago. Wanted to fight Tank. He's like, no, that's not going to happen. Because we can't generate the dollars out of it. So sometimes you can't generate the dollars, but I'm telling you what, and it would be nice if Wilder could still fight, because Wilder is a person that can generate money still in boxing, period. To be honest, Fury without Wilder, he can't generate that much money. Over in England, he's not a worldwide. He's not the type that people want to see all over the world. You know what I mean? People don't give a shit. Canelo, he didn't put a black eye on his brand a little bit. So there's certain fighters, people want to see people like Tank. Even over in England, they want to see Tank. But over here, they don't really. Because Fury came over and did some phony shit, try to do the whole Mexican thing, the USA thing. Nobody goes for that movie type of shit. Nobody care about that. We don't care who. If you fight certain people, nobody's paying you top dollars. You fight Wilder again, yeah, you're gonna get paid again. Over in England, yeah, maybe AJ, you might get paid. If you beat him, that's it. Who do you fight now? It's very limited. Certain fighters can fight almost anybody and get paid, and certain fighters can fight only the top guys and get paid. And this is what we always talk about, risk, because you guys got to realize when we have these conversations, a lot of these fighters are talking about risk and reward. Said the risk is there, but the reward ain't there. And then once they say that, we're not gonna get a fight. Once they start talking about a risk and a reward, we're not gonna get a fight. And I see Michael Johnson's Boxing Talk and more is up in here. See what it do. That's what it do. Yeah, I put my check out there. I put my mod check, but it's not for you guys. It's just a mod. Just checking y'all a different way. I'm not checking to see if y'all come up in here. He said, I see y'all, what's popping? Yeah, so that's not the kind of check. It's just to see. I'm just checking to see what's up in here with y'all. Just to see how y'all think. Because because earlier I was talking about the all this coincidental stuff. And, for us to pretend, we're on this side of it, but for us to pretend like we don't care, I'm not saying that we care, but for us to act like money is not involved in boxing, you're undermining yourself when you think money's not involved. And so in some cases, that's why we're not getting the fights. But I'm going to tell you one fight I don't care about now. I don't care about Lomachenko versus Tank right now. I don't care. Because if they feel like they can't get enough money for Tank to fight him, I don't care if Tank fights him or not. I don't want that. Tank Stevenson, well, if Stevenson come up, right? And Stevenson 130, right? If he comes up, yeah. But he already made one bad play earlier, like I said. If you're saying that the way you beat Tank is by not getting knocked out, then that's not a good plan. You're probably going to get knocked out because you're worried about getting knocked out instead of worrying about knocking somebody out. Don't worry about getting knocked out. Worry about yourself knocking somebody else out. Don't say, I can beat him as long as he don't knock me out. That don't make sense. So you're going to beat him so you're already planning on beating him on points. So he already know what you're going to do. He know you're going to stick and try to run. Yeah. Y'all, sir, says salute at Michael Johnson's Boxing Talking More. Y'all, Sir Hussein said, is everything okay with Derek Bailey? I ain't seen him in days yet. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I got his number. I got to go check through my emails to see if I got his number. Yeah, I haven't seen him. He might be a little bit under the weather or something like that. If we don't see him by Monday, I'll check my email. Then again, if he's not even online, so I don't know. I don't have an alternative way to reach him. So I can reach my little brother because he come in when he want to, but I can still reach his ass if he don't come in here. If I start missing, you see I don't miss him like that though. But if I ever start missing his little ass, I'll call him up. But yeah, I hope the brother's good, man. So hopefully everything's cool. Yeah, so yeah, Michael Johnson Boxer Talking More said, yeah, well, sir, what's up? Yeah, but he said, y'all sir said, Bob gonna make Loma versus Haney before he ever thinks of Tank versus Loma. No, I don't want to see that either. I don't want to see it. I'm sorry. I just don't want to see. I don't care who Loma fights as long as he don't fight for a championship. I don't care. You got to fight somebody else. You got to work your way back up. You know why I'm so the way I am with Loma? Can y'all figure that out? I'll give y'all 30 seconds to figure that out. Why you think I'm that way with Loma? And it's not necessarily his fault. I'll give you a hint. It's not necessarily his fault, but it is. Yeah. Y'all, sir, said all good this way. Michael Johnson Boxing. He said, what you saying, bro? Okay. And then he said, yeah, sir, same here. He said he good. He doing the same. Okay. I don't see nothing, so you guys might have, responded to what I just said. But this is my take on it. My take on it is that because of old media, that's my main reason. Because of old media and all the hype that was on Loma and all the bullshit, like he needs to suffer a little bit. Because how are you still in the pound for pound? You don't even have 30 fights. You already lost 2. How are you still in the conversation for pound? Huh? You just lost your last fight. How are you still in the conversation? Without money. Yeah. Well, it wasn't just Bob either, though. I mean, I know at Lomachenko, I'm telling you, Lomachenko, Haney could never be like a Lomachenko. You guys know it, just like I know it. He can never be like a Loma. That's one of the greatest fighters that there's been. That aside, who was it? ESPN? One day they was trying to erase one of his losses at first. I'm like, come on now. It's because other people did too much. And I don't even know if they didn't do too much. I don't know how much I would actually feel. Like, oh yeah, they need to get in there. They need to get that action going against Loma. I don't know. Because first of all, you lost a fight to somebody that just, you lost a fight to somebody that got beat up. And then the person that beat them up got beat up. So how do you even line that up? It don't make so. You lost your belt, and then the person that took your belt lost the belt. So how does that jump you back to the front of the line? Come on, get out of here. I'm just saying, even without all the media, even without all the bullshit. Yeah, Sir Hussein crying. He said he said the Salido lost, yeah. Yep. How you gonna rate? You lost. Yeah, Sir Hussein said God dang it. Just forgive me for a second. I can't read what you got, brother, because I got to learn how to get rid of these ads. I don't even know why I be having ads popping up when I'm doing this. It's like, why am I getting ads? But anyway, he said them pound for pound list bullshit anyway. He said how are undisputed champs not on there, yet man's like Loma are. Yeah, that's crazy. How Haney not on there but Loma on there? And so this falls right in that same line, right? So Loma, you lost to the man that lost to the man that lost to the man. You know how people say stuff like that, but it's actually true. So Loma, you lost. The one that beat you, he lost. And the one that beat the one that lost, he lost. So how you even catapult yourself forward? Get your ass out of here. Michael Johnson, boxing talking more, don't trust Stevenson. He said Stevenson will probably get knocked out by Tank. He already putting it in his head. He's already thinking like, don't get knocked out. That's going to be on his mind when he fight. Don't get knocked out. Stay clean. Don't get knocked out. No. The whole thing about fighting Tank is, I'm going to tell you, Tank's old style can beat him. What beats Tank is the fighter who stays relaxed. Don't let their ass crack tighten up. That with a good skill set, like a Haney or a Stevenson, but you just cannot let your butt get tight. You know what I mean? Because Tank is he's like a little pit bull. He's like a little dog in there. He's like a dog. And a pit bull, what you do is you start wearing on him, or Rottweiler, however you want to call Tank, a little Rottweiler. So what you do is you just relax with him. Okay, that was hard. Okay, I made it past that. I made it past that. Just make sure everything up in here stays nice and loose. Okay, boom. Make sure he's catching elbows. Don't let him catch arms and shit like that. Make sure he's catching elbows mostly. If he's throwing punches, you're slipping them. He's catching the top of the shoulder. He's catching elbows. You know, nothing heavy's landing, and you getting yours all boom, 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 out of harm's way, but you staying like this the whole time. You staying like this. You capoeira, or you chi. You know, you're Tai Chi in capoeira style. You're like, you remember capoeira, right? So you're capoeira in chi. Like, okay, okay, that was good. I didn't feel that. That didn't bother me. That's how you got to stay the whole fight. You got to be like nice and fluid. Where? You got to be fluid the whole time. You thought you had me take. You got to be clowning. Yeah. You trying to land a big one, boo. I can take it though. Just talking and just saying relax. As soon as you do this shit, that's what happens to all of them. Is Leo Santa Cruz was fighting Tank pretty good. He was like getting those hands off and everything. He was staying relaxed. But then another key thing is you make sure that your positions are good. He got himself, he was relaxed, but he got himself in the wrong position. He got in the corner. If you guys are noticing, I'm gonna tell this on Tank anyway. I don't necessarily like Tank or like any fighter, so it don't matter if I let the information out on stage and here. If you notice where most of Tank's knockouts are, is they're close to the ropes or on the ropes. That's where all his fights are stopped, or he gets your ass knocked out. Most of them you're on the ropes. Tank hardly ever knocks somebody out in the center of the ring. He's very smart. If you get tensed up or you do something stupid, like in his last fight, doing stupid shit, because you think you're a power puncher. You're a power puncher, but is your chin a power punch taker? See? But if you stay nice and loose with Tank, like you getting hands out, because a lot of people have outboxed him for a while. But as soon as it's two ways you're going to lose. You're going to get out of position, or your butt's going to tighten up. You're going to get tight. If you get tight, you're going to sleep. If your butt gets tight, you're going to sleep. And if you get caught in the one, because you don't necessarily have to run into Tank's traps. He sets pretty good traps, though. He sets pretty good traps. That was actually a new trap that he used, which I like that one. It was like a back foot, counter. Yeah, it was just a kind of nice little counter trap. It was a nice one. Because I think they're getting used to it. He has this one trap where he takes a little half a step back. After he gets you coming forward, that's one of his traps. And I think people are getting used to that trap. It's a nice trap. I like it. I like the results of the trap because I'm kind of sick. I want to see somebody take a, kind of a extra hard shot that he throws at you. He does catch you with a big one. Yeah, but Michael Johnson, he just threw it out there. Yeah, he said, Stevenson probably get knocked out. A lot of people think that Stevenson washes Tank, but I just don't see that happening. Sir Hussein said, Michael Johnson, see, I got Shakur over Tank and Haney, laughing out loud. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More said, I could dig it. Yeah, but for those two, I can see Stevenson getting caught more than I can see Haney getting caught. Haney, the one time Haney did get a little bit hurt, he weathered the storm, but he learned a valuable lesson. I don't think Stevenson has learned that lesson yet. He hasn't had to learn that lesson. But if he does have to learn that lesson before he fights Tank, then I give him a better shot. But the only thing I just don't like with him is just that, you saying this don't get knocked out, because you can't go in the fight like that. Don't get knocked out, because I see you as probably your butt getting tight before I see Haney getting all tight. You're going to get tight, and you probably got better experience the way you don't have to. But I can see if Tank ever pressures him, I can see him getting, kind of locking up a little bit, like, oh shit, I felt that body shot. Oh shit, that's what it feels like. And then you start losing up in here. Just like I said with AJ, I don't think AJ is brittle as we say he is. As I say is, because I used to think he was real brittle chin. I don't really think he's that brittle chin. I think even from the Klitschko, when he gets caught, I think that he just kind of freezes and just like he has a. Maybe I'm giving Klitschko too much credit, but I think he still has Klitschko flashbacks. Because remember when he was fighting Parker, remember how he was calling timeouts on his own and shit. Anytime he got clipped, he was calling timeouts. I said, what the fuck? What is he doing? How ref? How are you letting him call timeout? You can't call timeouts in fights. He's stopping the action. So I can see if he can get over that, I can see him being he could become a greater fighter. AJ could become a greater fighter. You need to go down there and work with Errol Spence. Derek James. Derek James is the best trainer right now. Go work with him. I don't care what else these people say, but Derek James is the best trainer right now. I'm sorry. He just is. He's the best trainer right now. Nobody else's work is showing up like his. What he got? He got at least 7 belts. His fighters have 7 belts, just between 2 of them. Y'all can make it into a debate if you want to, but that's just for me. Go work with him. Get that head examined. Which a lot of you other fighters, if you're going to fight Tank, maybe it is good to have yourself a nice little psychiatrist or something so you can talk about, you can just tell them what your concerns is. So maybe they can give you the positive feedback so you don't think like, I must not get knocked out. I must not get knocked out. I must not get... You go in there with that attitude, you get knocked out. Now, if you go in there with that completely out of your mind and you do get clipped a little bit, okay, that hurt. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. See, at least if I never thought about that, I could take a punch and be like, okay, I'm good. Oh, there's nothing. I'm down. I'm back up. It's no big deal. And then I can get up. I can still be relaxed. You know what? Because I just wouldn't replay it. I wouldn't watch the Lennox Lewis. You guys already know me. I got to go back and watch fights though. I was watching the Lennox Lewis versus Ray Mercer fight. And I was just listening to what George was saying. George was saying that he had it a draw. It probably was a draw as far as a fight. I don't know, man. I think I had Mercer winning that fight. Ray had. I'm gonna say that Lennox Lewis, got off some good punches on Ray Mercer, but Ray Mercer got a chin. And I think Ray Mercer was actually hurting him more. I think because he had Lennox Lewis holding on, and he was never. I don't think he was ever holding on, but he had Lennox Lewis holding on, and anytime Lennox Lewis would let his hands go, then Mercer always... One thing about I love about Mercer is Ray Mercer, as when he was in his prime. If you put hands on Ray Mercer, believe me, he was going to come back and put hands on you. Maybe the skill set wasn't quite as good, but he's way underrated, though. There we go again. Because you guys do remember, he got a knockout in MMA. That Ray Mercer has a knockout in MMA. And that's when he was older, too. He wouldn't got him a quick knockout in MMA. So. But all those, we just don't have that. I mean, just think about just that class itself. You had Ray Mercer. You had crazy-ass Galata for a while. You had Lennox Lewis. You had Klitschko. You had Riddick Bowe. You had Holyfield. You had Burt Cooper. Damn. Tillis. Tillis was on his way out. No, he was still in there. Yeah, you had Tillis back then. Damn, who else you had? You had Bone Crusher Smith. Pinklin Thomas. God dang, who else? Well, Witherspoon was probably on his way out. He had like a couple of fights in that era, but not very many. But yeah, you had all these fighters, man. You had a bunch of. Just think if you had that kind of fighters right now. If you had all those in heavyweight, man, we'd be having so much action. We wouldn't have to be asking for fights. We'd be like, if they didn't want to fight, like, far as heavyweight fight, if they didn't want to fight championship fights, we wouldn't even care. Like, that's all right. We got these other two fighting. We wouldn't care. Just think about it. Because one time you might have Riddick Bowe and Holyfield. And then you might have Mike Tyson and somebody else. It's like, damn. You was always getting a good fight. Because you, especially when you had Holyfield and Bowe and Lewis and Tyson, when you had all of them, which wasn't very often because I know Mike had to leave for a while, came back, he started having all these different issues and stuff like that. But then again, you had you had some punchers back then too. You had Bruno, wasn't great as a boxer, but real strong guy. You had Razor Ruddock. Yeah, there's just a lot of guys back then. You know, now we just, I don't know. We got fighters already making up their excuse. Like, I can't get knocked out. Yeah, we know that, brother. We know you can't get knocked out. Just don't go out there and get your ass knocked out. That's it. Don't go out there and get knocked out. That's all we can say for you. We hoping for you too. We don't want you going out there getting your ass knocked out. Just look at you getting your ass out there and got your ass knocked out because you talked about it too much. Who y'all got this weekend? All the bigger fights that I know of are next week, but you guys got Taya or Brightest? Nobody wants to say anything. I don't know. One of them. It wasn't even that big of a thing, so I wasn't even trying to, it's like, are we really talking about these fighters? Yeah. But, but Brightest, he has been getting like, well, at least he finally got a knockout. He had been unanimous, majority, unanimous, TKO, stuff like that, but we'll see. We will see. I really don't keep up with the cruiserweights that much. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with him anyway. But I don't keep up with those. I don't keep up with cruiserweights as much. I don't know. They're too quiet, man. They're quiet. Out of the top three heavy divisions, light heavyweight, cruiser, and heavyweight, I think cruiserweight is they're more quiet than anybody. You know what I mean? Okay, y'all so say if we he said if we talking what ifs, he said if Don King was still the man, he would be getting all them fights. I don't know about how well them fighters would get paid though. Yeah, you funny, man. Yeah, you right. He said, who you think had a better amateur career, Shakur or Haney? I don't know. I would probably say Shakur. It's only because, Haney just, because Haney went pro early, remember? Haney went pro like so early. So he has more professional experience than these other fighters though, because he got more or less just thrown to the wolves though. You know what I mean? At a young age, he just got thrown to the wolves. They still developing though. Shakur's still developing. Tank is still developing. Haney, they still developing. Lomachenko's not really developing anymore. He's kind of slow. People catching up with him because he's trying to. See, this is what Lomachenko's doing. He's trying to fight. He's trying to fight more intelligent now. Like I'm conserving energy and shit like that. That just you can't. They don't work all the time. I'm gonna conserve my energy a little bit. I might be down 1 or 2 rounds and just try to fight my way back. It don't work. You can't always do that. You older fighters, you guys gotta learn that everybody's not. There's only a handful of people. out of thousands of people, there's only like a handful of people. They can still do shit no matter what their age is. They can still do shit. It's just like, they're just rare. It's like, you still doing this shit? Yeah, they're just rare people. And what makes them rare is probably, it's not all genetic. A lot of times these people take care of themselves different. That's why they can have the longevity, but some fighters, you can't do it. And for me, what we were just talking about, because Bruce Gass got me thinking about that whole, he had me thinking about that whole Canelo thing, because maybe Canelo might be gone already, y'all. Y'all don't even know. What if Canelo's gone? We don't know. Do you guys 100% know that Canelo's not gone or not? Do you know? 100% do we know? Because Bruce Gass, he said he might have seen aging in that fight. Like Canelo just don't have it no more, you know. Anyway, y'all know what it is, man. Yeah. Let me find y'all something nice too. I thought Lala might have been in here. If Lala was in here, it would have been cool. Play y'all some special music on y'all way out. Let's get out of here. Enjoy the weekend, man. Yeah, you guys get out there, enjoy your weekend, you know. Have a real good time. Have a super time out there, you know, getting done what y'all got to get done this weekend. This, like I said, man, get y'all supplies and stuff up. Just be safe, man. I'm not into no kind of conspiracy stuff, but I see a lot of stuff. There was a guy, he does another forum, and he was talking about picking some stuff up in my area. He said usually, you know, that there's a lot of stuff coming off of ships and all that. He said there's no supplies. He says nothing. The food that he usually picks up is just he's not picking up food and nothing no more. So it's like just be mindful. Don't always think that the government or somebody's gonna have everything for you. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying. You know, you can feel any way you want to, but just please, I'm just giving you that information. Y'all started saying so I could see Shakir and Haney improving in their early 20s. He says whereas Tank is closer to 30 mark now, and iron sharpens iron. I don't see Tank having them kind of fights. No, but Tank, nobody's really gonna teach Tank anything right now. Tank is on top of the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Tank is on top right now. He has the experience out of them as far as like the professional, as far as his age wise. He's even talking shit in the ring and everything else. So, you know, he's paying attention to the audience, paying attention to the fighter. I mean, he's relaxed enough to do that. Shakur needs to get there. If Shakur could do that, he could beat Tank. If he can't do that, he's not. If like I said, if his butt's tight, he's gonna lose. If he's worried about that KO, I'm gonna probably take the KO. Okay, Michael Johnson back to talking more. So I'm here. I'm just laughing out loud. I'm just driving. Yeah, I know, brother, but I'm gonna go, man. I've been here long enough, man. Y'all ain't hijacking me today, man. I do have a few things I gotta do, man. This is the first of the month, man. So you know, we got bills all over the place. When the first of the month hits, I try to get like my bills paid like that, like the first week, cause I pay bills all month long. See, I just finished paying my last bill. Matter of fact, I didn't even pay it this month, so I'm gonna have to pay it this week. Yep, cause I pay bills all during the whole month. He said Haney and Shakur already fighting better level of competition than Tank, in my opinion. Yeah. You might be able to say that, but look who Tank fought. Tank did not. How would you put Barrios up against those guys? I don't think so. I don't think they fought, you know, better fighters, to be honest. Because Leo Santa Cruz wasn't no joke. He wasn't no joke. That was hard on. That was a big one. Even Pedraza was a big one. You know, I'm not going to diminish what Tank's doing. But we'll see. We'll see. Just remember, keep the same energy when you bring your ass in here like you're talking like that. You keep that same energy. Anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me, man. This is Friday. Y'all know what it is. Eagle Wears Boxing, man. Nothing but blessings. And I know y'all still want to. I know Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More, want to hear more from Eagle because he out there driving. Says, shit, now I got to turn to another station. But you know what? You know, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all when y'all come in, man. But you know how we do it, man. We're always going to do it, man. We'll do it again. And tell them, man, nothing but blessings, man. At least I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm gonna play a little bit of a mix for y'all. At least y'all get that. Shit, at least you get something. I'll see you down there, brother. He said, "Peace out, y'all, sir." Yeah. Yeah. Come on now, what happened? What happened, man? That's not enough sound. I gotta get y'all a little bit better sound than that. That's not enough. Yeah, we gotta get. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we gotta have better than that. Yeah, especially when I'm putting y'all on to something that I like to listen to. There we go. Huh? Let's go. Hey. Just enjoy this on your way up, Michael Johnson's Boxing Talking More. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna catch y'all, man. Where we at? I'm sorry about that. I don't know why my music keeps stopping. My music's hating. Yeah. Let's get this guy. Yeah. Why are you playing me music? Why are you playing me? I can only download so much, so I gotta go. Some of it I have to just. I don't even know it. Yeah. I don't know, brother. I don't know. This thing is killing me. I get stubborn, you know me. I'll do it another way then. Y'all don't know nothing about no whistle like that. Y'all don't know nothing about that kind of stuff, man. You don't know it. You don't know. Have a great weekend out there, y'all. I'm about to stop this music because if it's gonna be having technical difficulties. you get one more chance, man. One more chance to stop it on me. I'll let you go.